Let's take you to New York now. New York's migrant crisis is now hurting the bank accounts of city workers that people rely heavily on the most. Police, fire, sanitation, and corrections departments have all been directed to cut their overtime because of it.
Okay, everyone, as you can see what this video is going to be about. Yes, Democratic Mayor Eric Adams taking from New Yorkers and giving the funds to migrants. Yes. Unfortunately, that's what's happening across this country in a lot of cities and states, and funds are being allocated to other countries and distributed to other countries, but the United States citizens who voted for these elected officials and who are taxpayers are forgotten about. We are no longer a priority in the politicians' action, and what they are stating today is evident and it's telling you that. So, but first, before I share this screen with you guys, a couple screens I'm going to share in a clip of a video I came across. I need for you all to like this video, share this video. It's free to support the mix. Most importantly, listen to this video from beginning to end. Yes, and let's get the discussion going in the comment section. Engage respectfully. I came across this article and this video clip, so let me just jump right into it and share it. Here we go.
To New York now. New York's migrant crisis is now hurting the bank accounts of city workers that people rely heavily on the most. Police, fire, sanitation, and corrections departments have all been directed to cut their overtime because of it. Mayor Eric Adams slashing paychecks for officers and firefighters to pay for the 100,000 migrants who have arrived in the Big Apple over the last year. With no end in sight, Adams estimating that caring for all of these people will cost billions of dollars.
Wow.
Emily Finn explains how he's trying to find funding for all of that. Hey,
okay, trying to find funding. Okay, Mayor Eric Adams, what happened to your buddy, your Democrat buddy, Jim Crow Joe? What happened to Jim Crow Joe? Oh yeah, he's cutting checks elsewhere too, billions, go to other countries. I mean, hey, you know what? At this point, ATP, as the young people say, I am not surprised any longer. And taxpayers and voters of the United States of America, legal citizens, this is our doing. Those who voted these people in office, from the federal level to the local level, these are the results. And it's strange. It's really strange and interesting. Let me point this out because I do run polls, and I'm going to have polls running after this. I'm going to pose a couple questions, but I do have polls going on, and my political related poll, run a little spin on it. Okay, if the election was today, for example, who would you vote for? And the results are insane, considering the state that we're in, considering inflation, considering a border crisis, migrants, and considering healthcare crisis, considering high rent, mortgage, economic just catastrophe going on in America, and the politicians just playing in your faces, in our faces like this. So to see some of those results, I'm just like, wow. Someone made a comment, I don't know who that was, on one of my videos, like, American citizens, voters still haven't learned. I'm quite sure they probably referring to some of my polls that I have going on. I can't do nothing but concur, because I'd be bleep if I vote for any one of these people. Period. I don't care. If the election was today, okay, let's play this game. If the election was today, you have Mayor Eric Adams and maybe a couple other people. Who would you be voting for? Who would you be voting for? You still will vote for Mayor Eric Adams? Oh my goodness. Did you hear that clip? He's taking resources away. He's scaling back financially to give to individuals who are not taxpayers, who did not Social Security, who are not able to legally vote as of now. Open arms, open borders. Migrants are being welcomed into the sanctuary cities and states. And I'm going to go over that too, to give you guys an idea of the sanctuary states that are on board with this. So where's Jim Crow Joe, Eric Adams? Jim Crow Joe. And everyone, pay attention. This is election season. These politicians is going to sell you anything to remain in office. You see, Nancy Pelosi is running, and she's 83 years old. She should be retiring. But let me tell you this, it's easy for her to run. You know why? Because she's set up already. She's set up financially. She's set up power-wise. And don't think for a second she's drafting emails and writing up legislation and reading it. She has people to do that for her. It's all about power. Think, people. I do not believe Nancy Pelosi should be running for office again. She needs to retire. She's 83. But we all know what they're doing, holding on to these seats because they don't want to lose it. It's power. It's a power dynamics, and they're playing in American citizens' faces. But hey, what do I know? Continue to vote the way you vote, right? And I'm being facetious right here. You know, it's your prerogative whether you vote or not and who you vote for. But those polls that I run and have ran, quite interesting. It says a lot. It says a lot. So don't complain. Matter of fact, get on board yourself and invite migrants to your home. If you think that this country is where it's supposed to be in terms of financial, economic wise, border control, healthcare wise, then continue to vote the way you're voting. Continue to do it then. In my opinion, you should. But at the end of the day, it is your choice and your prerogative. If you feel that that inflation is not hitting your pockets, if you feel that your rent and your mortgage is reasonable, if you feel that your salary, your hourly wages is fine and you're in a good space, then I guess, do what works for you, right? Right? Why don't you partner with your local city or state and see how you can help migrants as well? Let's call it what it is. Hey. And again, as I stated before in previous videos, it's no fault of the migrants. This is not a dig or an attack at migrants, towards migrants. This is American citizens, voters, and taxpayers who voted these clowns into office. Who's making these decisions over your life, my life, and generations to come. Mayor Eric Adams is taking, robbing Peter to pay Paul, as so to speak. Wow. Okay. Mayor Eric Adams is a Democrat. I don't know the solution, you guys. I don't know where would we go from here in terms of voting. I don't. But I know one thing. I wouldn't vote for them. I don't care. I wouldn't vote for them. If Brandon Johnson, Chicago mayor, run for office right now, election is now, today, would you re-elect him? Would you actually go in that booth and vote for him? Ask yourself that. Those Chicagoans, Illinoisans, or those outside of the state of Chicago, let's pretend that you live in Chicago. Those who are outside of the state of Illinois, let's pretend that you live in the state of Illinois. For hypothetical reasons, would you vote for Brandon Johnson? Okay, hypothetical reasons. Let's say, would you support him? Those who live outside, would you support him? Would you say, hey, Chicagoans, you should vote for Brandon Johnson? Live outside of the state of New York, would you support Mayor Eric Adams? It encouraged New Yorkers to vote for him. I'm on Brandon Johnson's neck, you guys. Let me just insert that really quickly. Videos for me about Brandon Johnson because, and my apologies. I just say throw the whole voting system away at this point. I'm just, no hope. I don't see hope. I don't. I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for. Period. I did support Brandon Johnson, although I don't live in the city of Chicago. In spirit. In comparison to the other guy who was running there, it should have been Willie Wilson. Should have been the Chicago mayor. I actually supported him as well. But some reason, somehow, Brandon Johnson came on in there, and everybody was wondering too, where did he come from? Although he was a school teacher, yeah, but where did he come from? Who pushed him? Oh my gosh! And that's what disrupted the. I guess I don't know if it was runoff. It was between Willie Wilson, some other people, Brandon, So yeah, it kind of bumped Willie Wilson out. But yeah, let me go ahead and share this article, and then I'll come back with more of my commentary, reaction, and opinions. According to AP News, Nancy Pelosi says she'll seek House re-election in 2024, dismissing talk of retirement at age 83. Look at her. I'm not going to go over this article, you guys. I can't believe she's running for re-election. And Californians, are you guys going to vote for her in her district? What district is she in? San Francisco district area. Wow. That's where all the crime is at too. Okay, let me head over to this article. Okay, you guys, according to newsnation.now, New York migrant crisis forces Adams to cut funding to city agencies. Mayor Adams is calling for a 5% cut in spending for city agencies. That means overtime pay cuts to firefighters, sanitation workers, and police. Cost of housing, cost of housing, feeding, educating migrants is expected to approach $12 billion. Wow. Oh boy. The article further cites New York City Mayor Eric Adams has directed every city agency. Let me repeat that. He's directed every city agency to trim overtime costs, implementing a 5% cut in spending as a way to pay for the influx of migrants arriving from the southern border. Where's Jim Crow Joe, your buddy? Oh, cutting checks elsewhere. That means overtime pay cuts to firefighters, sanitation workers, and at the top of the list, the New York Police Department. Wow. Okay. And mind you, Mayor Eric Adams was once a police officer. I wonder, is Mayor Eric Adams going to receive a pay cut? Let me continue. I have to be honest with New Yorkers, with what we're about to experience, a financial tsunami that I don't think this city has ever experienced, Adams said. Adams has long warned city services would be affected due to the ongoing migrant crisis, saying that's when residents will get a real sense of just how bad the situation is. But crime in the Big Apple is higher now than it was before the pandemic, sparking concerns about moving funds away from law enforcement. Some critics say cutting funds from police is an unreasonable request because officers work overtime to make up for the department's shortage. Also, cost cutting is jeopardizing safety on the streets and the city subways. The article further cites down almost 1,100 police officers. The NYPD continues to lose officers to retirement or relocations to other departments. I love seeing the cops. They are for our protection. Greya Glover, a Brooklyn subway rider, said, there are a lot of things going on in the subway, a lot of mental people on the subway. But the continuous arrival of migrants is posing a financial strain on the city. The cost of housing, feeding, and educating migrants, again, is expected to approach $12 billion. Article further cites if state government doesn't send significant funding to help offset the city's costs, the mayor said, this issue will destroy New York City, Adams said last week. I went over excerpts of that article. You can head on over there, newsnation.com, and read the article in its entirety. But let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment. Let's engage, you guys, in the comment section. Again, like, share, subscribe to the mix. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. Don't be afraid to hit that notification bell, especially those who are passing through. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe and smash that notification bell. So at a time like this, where inflation is probably at an all-time high, I would say, We're going to go ahead and say that. I don't have studies or statistics or historical data in front of me to compare it to any other type of inflation. But let's just say, okay, the country right now, today, 2023, in September, is in complete ruins. Economic, inflation, stock market, housing, healthcare, border control, and so much more. So Mayor Eric Adams wants to increase the struggles of those same people who voted for him. Knowing that not only Americans around the country are struggling, those who voted for Mayor Eric Adams, they're struggling as well. Is Mayor Eric Adams going to take a pay cut? The same people that voted for him, the same people that pay taxes. This money, your money, is going to be allocated to non-taxpayers and non-voters. Let that sink in. Where is Crow Joe? Oh, like I said, he's cutting checks elsewhere, and he's probably trying to intervene with his son being indicted, drug charges or something like that. I'll be doing commentary on that. That plea deal fell through, so he's been officially indicted. I think they were trying to favoritism and nepotism, so the plea deal fell apart. So I'm gonna do some more research on that. So maybe Jim Crow Joe is trying to save his son. I don't know. You know, he saved everybody, gosh, but the American citizens who voted for him. This is interesting. Like I said, when it comes to the mock polls I've been running in the community section. So head on over there, vote. It's very interesting and concerning with some of the results, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I will do some commentary on a couple of the polls that I ran, the results from that poll. But what are your thoughts? Y'all still voting Democrat out there? Y'all still gonna vote for Mayor Adams, New Yorkers? Those who are outside of New York, are you all still supporting Mayor Eric Adams? His political endeavors? Heck, you never know. He might be coming to a city near you trying to run for office. Y'all better keep your eyes and ears to the streets. This is election season. These politicians you're going to see commercials after commercials after commercials. So be prepared. You're probably going to see a major event to try to incite fear in you and concern and worry. Think for yourselves. Do what's in your best interest for you and your family. Even if, and I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you options and alternatives. We all should have options and alternatives. Matter of fact, we do. You do. You can vote. You don't have to vote. You can vote for whoever you want to vote. You can skip names on the ballot too, and vote for other people in other areas. And you can do all of that by conducting your own due diligence, doing what is in the best interest for yourself, your household, and most importantly, we all kind of need to get on the same page and doing what's best for the country. That would be good too, if we can kind of be on code together, you know. But wishful thinking. But yeah, let me head on over to X. I want to share something from X with you guys.
New York City is a sanctuary city, and there are no takebacks. You may recall that New York City is a self-designated sanctuary city for immigrants. Mayor Eric Adams has explained that this means they love, admire, and respect immigrants as long as they're somewhere else.
110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets.
Did he just say wash their laundry sheets?
This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City.
We can't let them destroy New York City, which is why Mayor Eric Adams is doing his best to destroy it first.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh my gosh. To me, that was funny. And that's just an example. This is a crisis, border crisis, migrant crisis. And now the liberals are kind of, to my understanding, is fighting within a little bit. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but this is going to be interesting. I will continue to sip my wine, sip my tea when I'm in my tea zone and mode, and then eat my popcorn. Because like I said before, when it comes to all of this, I don't think it matters anymore. You're being represented properly, fairly. I don't think they care. They forget about you. But yeah, let me go ahead and go Google and go over some sanctuary states. Okay, you guys, basically these are the sanctuary states according to Google. We have California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, and I think there's more. So basically these are the states that welcome migrants. There is like a federal law. These are the states that have the sanctuary welcoming met, so again, this is no fault of the migrants or the illegal immigrants. It's no fault of theirs. Hey, voters, American voters and taxpayers, it's your fault. Your voting habits, your voting pattern is the results of what we have today. So, but let me know your thoughts, you guys. Like this video, share this video. Thank you all for tuning in to the mix. How would you be voting? Think about it. Are you going to sit it out? Are you going to participate and vote a different way? Remember, there's other people on the ballot. There's more than 2 parties on the ballot in the presidential section. Get a copy of your ballot online, a mock ballot, an example ballot or something. Try to conduct your research. Get on the phone with the reps. Go meet these people in person. They're public service. Why all of a sudden when it's time to do the work, they disappear? But they're public service. Why aren't they in the public eye after they won or secured the election? Why? Ask yourself that. But nevertheless, I digress. Mayor Adams, continue to look for your funding, I guess. Or like you said, your answer is to take it from the citizens who voted for you. Take the money from the citizens, cut their funding, and with inflation at an all-time high, that's your bright idea. Congratulations, voters. We played ourselves, federal to local. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.